It's all about the process of getting to the top and trying to bring others up there with you. So that's how I view it. It will not be a success if I get to where my goals and my friends don't. So that's one thing about me. I'll never gatekeep ever. Open book. And so it's just like I said, it's gonna put other people on. Man, it's not just about you. It really isn't.
We got a UIU football legend. No last name needed. They just call him DJ. And sometimes they even call him Tampa. How you doing, my guy?
Man, good. How you been doing, man?
Bro, I've been great, man. What you been up to, man?
Yeah, I just been chilling, head down, working out, grinding, all sorts of things, man. Just working. How about you?
Okay. Bro, man, I've been working, man. I've gotten back to the gym, and I started back hooping a little bit, man.
Hooping?
Yeah.
The hoop yet, man. My gym ain't got no court yet, man. No, I've been lifting. I'm in like some little football league too, just for fun with my friends on Sundays. So that's pretty much my cardio. I ain't got the hoop now. When I find me in the gym, it's over with. It is over.
Is it?
They know how I hoop.
Man, I'm surprised you haven't been hooping, man.
Man, it's so hard. Like I don't want to go to a gym like LA Fitness or Eastport or whatever it's called because it get too hectic. People want to fight. Man, I'm not with that. I'm just there to ball. So I've really been into it lately.
Okay, man. What got you back into lifting?
Man, to be honest, I started lifting. That was my New Year's resolution last January. It's not this January, but last January. All my boys lift. I mean, after football, I lost, man, probably like 15 pounds. I was probably sitting at like 185, 180. I feel a little bit weaker, and like when you play football, you forced to lift 4 times a week. And so I was like, man, look, I got to get back into this. I don't want to just wake up, go to work, come home. You know what I mean? So I started lifting, got back right. I started getting into powerlifting with my boy Samson. That's what he do. So he got me into that. He got me out with a workout plan. But man, I'm sitting at like 210 right now.
What? Okay. Okay.
I'm in there religiously. I can do better on my diet, but it's hard because I don't really. It doesn't really affect me that much, so I'll be eating whatever. But pretty soon I'm gonna be back on my meal prep and things like that. So
like started back doing those workouts that they used to send it on Team Builder.
Hey, they used to get you right though. I ain't gonna lie. They used to get
it. That's my workout routine. Them old workouts, man.
Yeah, I used to do that too. When I didn't know it, I'm doing it. But nah, man, it's straight, man. I feel good. My body feels good. I used to have knee pains, man. I'm scoring heavy. I don't have no knee pains, no back pain.
What you been up to, man, this past year? Like, what's been happening in your world?
Man, it's crazy, man. So this past year, what happened? I started working as a medical technician. So yeah, and so I worked this like second shift, probably like. I think my schedule was like 2 to 10:30, but I obviously knew I didn't want to get into that. Like there's decent money in there, but I want to go. You know me, I want big money. So I applied to nursing school and got in. But at the same time, I mean, we was talking about air traffic. I had took the test again, man, and so I'm in nursing school right now. First term, whatever, first semester, but. The school, I took the test, man. I got the highest score you can get. So for air traffic. So
wow.
Man, look, I prayed. I put the work in. I found out last week. So that's probably what I'm going with. If I get the offer letter, I'm gonna be going Oklahoma City. So So man, that was crazy.
So great.
And the crazy thing is, man, it was like the first time I took it, I did all right, but I didn't do. It's competitive, you know that. They take the top 1% to get in, and so I took the test the first time, and I knew I did all right, but I knew I didn't do good enough. So this time around, I studied, I visualized it, I wrote it down, prayed about it, all of it, man. It was like when I was taking that test, I just knew it I knew I did good. But the crazy thing is, man, one thing about me is I've been off a little bit recently. I'm not gonna lie, because once I got it, I've been so happy. But what I do is my morning routine really consisted of I wake up. Wake up probably 7 a.m. Get home, journal, meditate, things like that. And in my journal, I put everything I'm grateful for. My thoughts of the day. At the end, I put like affirmation, like what I want myself to believe, what I want to become. And every day since I took that exam, I put I am air traffic control. That's what I put. Second thing I put something else. Then the second thing is I'm air traffic control. And so I realized when you do things like that, when you write and you say that in your head, that's what you become. You know what I mean? It's something. It's like a weird phenomenon in which when you say things to yourself, your subconscious is going to bring it forward. God, your subconscious is going to bring it forward. It's going to happen. It's all you need is faith. And so, man, that's what I've been doing. And next thing I know, got the highest score. So now I'm just waiting for the offer letter coming in next week or the week after. On the road,
man. Oh my, bro! I'm so proud of you, man.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, man. I told you, I know we said books sometimes, but the book I had over there, it's like, let me bring it up. This book right here.
Okay.
I just finished this book probably a month ago. It took me a minute.
Okay.
Positive thinking. Steve Harvey recommended this book. But man, when I tell you that was probably, I know after I finished, I texted you. I'm like, that was probably the best book. I've read some books and that was number one, man. So it tells. Yeah. So basically, what I did was I've already applied most of those principles in that book to my life. They're already applied, but there were some that I did not have in my life. And I started applying. I started having more faith. Expecting the best in every situation, and it hasn't failed me yet. And especially with the air traffic control, that was the first test that it passed. So it's man.
Man, that's good, man. What were some of the principles in that book that you were surprised to read about, and you realized, man, I got to implement this in my life?
Man, the major principle they teach you in this book is to expect the best, and that is we're taught that. Everybody says, expect the best. You don't want to think about the negatives, but man, when I tell you that it's something that really can play a role in your life. I mean, like anything. Like sometimes, don't get me wrong, it's like it doesn't work sometimes in a sense to where you're like, okay, I just put a lottery ticket in. I'm expecting it to happen. Like it, you know what I mean? It's more like long-term situation things. Like for instance, me, I'm expecting to get the best on the test I'm going to take. Or I'm expecting to one day have the best situation in my family, like mental, emotional, physical. I'm expecting to be the best me. It's situations like that. And there's power in that because they teach the same principles in the Bible. You know what I mean? And so, you know what I mean? Like God even said, faith in the mustard seed will get you anywhere. And so the best thing about this author is he ties. It's not like every other, I've read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I've read books like that, but it's not like the same. It's the same principles, but it's tied into spirituality. It's tied in with the Bible. So everything he's saying, he's bringing out Bible verses. And so you kind of make the comparison, you kind of bring them together. It's the same thing. Expecting the best. Believing, it's all the same thing. And he put a Bible verse, I gotta find it. It was the Bible verse. I have it in I'm still trying to remember it because it is kind of a long verse. But he put, when he said expect the best and have faith, he was mainly talking about this verse because this is the verse that I've seen throughout the whole entire chapter. But it says Mark 11, 23 through 24. Truly I say to you, whoever says to this mountain, be taken up and thrown into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that what he says will come to pass, it will be done for him. Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. And it's like when you read verses like that, ambiguity. There's no maybe it will be yours. It might happen. We'll see what we can do. It says it will be yours. So when you apply that and you expect the best situation, you pray and you have faith, like I said, all you need is a mustard seed. And I seen that happen in my life just now. So it's, man. I'll say another principle it has in this book is the first one was expect the best in every situation. But another one that I seen was it said, how do I put this in words? So it says when you pray, you want to congregate with other people. So it's like you want to pray in a group. And that has immense power. I can't remember the verse it has for that. I cannot remember the verse for it has for that, but it had many verses. But basically, it has many examples and stories of people praying for a situation and then having other people pray with them, family members, whatever. And it said, I know the verse in general says, don't quote me for it, but it says,
okay.
In any group where there's prayer, I will be there. God is present there. So it's just like, we just seen it with DeMar Hamlin. How many people you seen pray DeMar? Listen,
yeah.
I don't know if you know the science behind that, but that man is not supposed to survive. He was, if you're doing CPR for 10 minutes, you are not supposed to survive. You're not supposed to recover. That is extremely rare. And so,
wow.
You know what I mean? And so just seeing it with Peyton Hillis. You heard what happened to him. Everybody's praying for him. It's like when you have that type of prayer, we have people come together as a different type of power. And so, it's like when you see that, when you read stuff and you put it in your brain, you see it happening everywhere. So it's kind of like, I knew a lot of these principles already, but when you really read and learn examples and tie in the Bible with it, man, it'll just start filtering your brain to where you only see that. So, yeah, great book, man.
Man, I feel you because like for me, I feel like I've started to make the most strides in my growth when I actually started not just reading but applying the things I read to my life. You know, because at first a lot of times I'll read something, oh man, this is a good quote, but like after like a week or so, like I wasn't applying it to my life. But as I started applying that stuff to my life, I was like, wow, like I could really see the growth in myself, you know, and other people can see it also.
That's mainly like even as kids, we learn so much, but it's like once you're mature enough to apply the things in your life, that's when you make growth. That's when you see change. Like I probably heard this stuff 10 years ago, but we're in high school, we're not worried about applying these things. We're worried about having fun. When you get older and get in the real world, you have to apply these type of principles. But I would say the most, like activity wise, it tells you certain activities. When I mean activities, I mean certain actions that will help you, let's say like, will help imprint it in your subconscious mind. So instead of having so now, like for instance, now when a situation happens, I don't really think of the worst. You know what I mean? I automatically, like before, like that's years and years and years of programming that you have. Okay, this is not gonna happen my way. This is not gonna, you know what I mean? But when you take the conscious effort to think positively instead of negatively about a situation, then it becomes a habit. So it's just programming your subconscious mind. But I would say the best thing that helped me do that, and another good principle in this book is visualization. And we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
But man, when I tell you and I don't mean to get into science behind it, but there's science facts about some of these things, like especially visualization, especially if you do it before you sleep and when you wake up, that's when your mind is more, let's say, free, or it's like it will easily accept things that you say to it. I don't know, I can't remember the scientific term for it. It's been a while before I took biology, but that's when your brain is more active. That's when you can learn. That's when you can really get into your subconscious mind when you wake up and when you go to sleep. And so visualizing during that time, it makes it easier. You know what I mean? So every night before I went to bed, it's not like I was trying to dream about it, but before I went to bed, pray obviously, but when I closed my eyes, I was thinking about a great score. And it was not like I was thinking about the action, like me taking the test, but it was the reaction I would get. And it was funny because I got the same exact reaction that I visualized.
Wow.
And I mean, down to the same room that it was in, down to the same feeling. Yeah. And it was really just my dad being there. So, because I didn't have my score, I gave him access to my score, so I wouldn't see it. So it was basically my dad telling me my score, celebrating in the room, in his office room. So I mean, I'm telling you, it's crazy because people, people are, they don't believe everything you tell them. But at this point, I mean, I've seen it happen, and it works, man. It's just mainly capturing the feeling, how you would feel if you got the desired result. And you capture that, man, I'm telling you, it's coming. It will come.
Like hearing you speak about visualization, it reminds me of like my senior year of high school, man, because like well really like my junior year going to my senior year of high school, like with football, like I will always visualize us going to state, right? But then I had this feeling like, but I always also at the same time I would think about what's the worst that could happen. I'm like, man, we probably gonna lose anyway. But like I always had the thought, oh yeah, we're going to state, but man, the way certain things are playing out, we're probably gonna lose. And I just kept on having that mindset. And then when we actually got to state and we ended up losing like 32-17 or something like that. And like at the end of the game, I wasn't sad. I've been thinking we was gonna lose the whole time. But now, like as I look at it, I was like, wow, I played into that situation. I predicted that situation in a sense. And it was like, wow, just imagine if I would have had some more positive thoughts. If I thought what was the best that could happen instead of what was the worst that could happen, and how the outcome could have been different.
I'm telling you, man. And it's like people don't really realize that your thoughts are things. And if you don't control them, they can either make you or break you. You know what I mean? And so once you learn how to think positively and make things happen in your life, pray, have faith, there's nothing really that can stop you. So, but it can be destructive. It's like you just had a story. It doesn't really, you don't really notice it until you learn about it and then start applying it to your life. Because now that you're applying it, you can see how it affected you previously. I mean, that affected me almost every year in football until I started realizing my senior year, the best year I've ever had. No injury. Like I would always think, okay, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have a good season, maybe, but I'm gonna get hurt at some point. I'm bound to get hurt and get hit every play. What happens? And it wasn't until I stopped thinking about that where I wasn't getting hurt. So, man, it's just people don't realize, man, you can heal yourself with the way you think, like physically, emotionally, mentally. It's powerful. It really is. It's just all about how you think about things.
How was that process of you adjusting the way you think to think more positive thoughts?
To be honest, it is mainly it's a work in progress because like I said, it's automatic. So sometimes you don't even realize it. You don't realize it. And so when you do realize it, you have to switch that thought or that thought. So for instance, it's like, okay, I'm gonna get hurt this season. Just imagine I'm gonna get hurt this season. That's your automatic thought. But you notice it and be like, okay, no. What if it turned out better than I thought? What if I didn't get hurt? What if I had a great season? I was healthy and it's all like thinking and then also becoming that type of person. So like becoming the person who has a great season. And that consists of, eating healthy, staying healthy, stretching, doing a lot of injury prevention, and then also tying in the thought with it. You know what I mean? It's not like you can really, there's nothing that can really stop you. But it's mainly, I think I would say is people have to realize that there's a fine line between the way you think and becoming your thoughts. There's a line. You're like, if you think about it, your brain is an organ, just like your heart, just like every other organ, your stomach, your intestines. It's an organ. It's not who you are, if that makes sense. And so that's what I was telling you. I talked to you a while ago, probably like a couple months ago. I was like, my main goal is becoming more aware. And so when you're aware of that,
I remember you said that.
Yeah, when you're aware of that, that fact that you're not your brain and you're aware of the thoughts that come inside your head, inside and out of your head, you don't really attach. You know what I mean? You attach the thoughts that you want to because you tell your brain what to do, but you aren't your brain. So, okay, you can't stop. I haven't said this yet, but you can never stop negative thoughts from coming into your head. Your brain has hundreds of thousands of thoughts that will come inside your head every single day. And it's impossible for all of them to be positive. But the key is when negative thoughts do come, you can't attach to it. You can't attach to any negative thought that comes in your head. And the way to do that is by saying something positive and imagining how that would feel if it turned out better than you could ever imagine. You know what I mean? And so that's the main thing that people have to realize is you can't attach to your negative thoughts. Positive thoughts attach to it all day. Attach to them all day. You know, because that's really a blessing just to be able to control your thoughts and realize that you can really get anywhere you want in life by just working on you, working on your brain, and just noticing the negative thoughts that come to your brain and not attaching to them. You know what I mean? It's a work in progress. It's not like a one day thing, but it's more you gotta fall in love with the process of it. Like, okay, negative thought, not attaching. I'm gonna put a positive thought in it instead. And that's compound interest. And eventually you'll change your brain. I'm not saying negative thoughts will come, but you just want to entertain. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm not saying that I'm a master or all powerful at all. You know what I mean? I still struggle sometimes, but it's more I'm having more good days than bad days. You know what I mean?
Bro, I love how you said it's a work in progress because sometimes people expect things to be a quick fix, and it's not necessarily that, man.
It never will be. Never, not with money, not with relationships. If fast money is not good money. You know what I mean? Like that's the saying people say. It's the same thing with any process in your life. It all takes work. I mean, like we have social media, TikTok. Oh, I'm a millionaire from just doing this with no work, or you know what I mean. People show you highlights and stuff, so your brain's programmed to think that everything is fast and easy, which is not. I mean, you got to work. You got to put in the work. It's gonna take time. It's like now I'm at the point where I'm not really in love with the end result because I know I'm gonna get there. It's like more the process of becoming who I want to be. So when I get there, I know how to handle it. You know what I mean? Because they can destroy it. You can get there and not be the person you want it like you should be. God will let you get there, but when you get there, you will lose it all, and you'll lose something for sure. Whether it's your relationship, your money, that's why you want to be the person that God wants you to be before you get there. Because you're gonna get there, man. You pray, you have faith, He will put you there. But that's not to say you can't lose it all. You're the person you want you to lose.
Man, that's so true because it's like anything you get quick, you'll lose it quicker.
Man, I'm telling you, man. And I think the reason people think that is because of social media. And I'm not gonna lie, man. I was the same way. It's more like you really gotta dig into reading and podcasts, which is like, people say with nerds and stuff like that. I don't care. I'll be a nerd with money. You know what I mean? Like that's the stuff I like. I get into social media. I like that. I like to hang out and go out sometimes, but mainly it's you wanna try to learn something new every day. And once you do that, man, I'm telling you, it's like compound interest.
Yeah.
You want to learn, man, because in a world where people just value designer clothes, being the most popular, being famous, and things like that, you can get ahead of that because odds are those people won't be very far.
Yeah, man.
Not everybody can be rich and famous.
That's true. And it was like how you were saying about how like social media like kind of affects like people's expectations. I really realized that like once I started like doing like my swimming lessons, man. And I remember my instructor was telling like, man, you have to find your pace of your stroke. Man, I realized that's like you have to do that in life too. You have to find your pace and you have to be comfortable with it. And it's like once you're comfortable with your own pace, man, you can go in any direction you want to, and how far you want to go is up to you.
That's what I'm saying. Because I like we're at the age where we have. I know I have a lot of friends that some are married. I
Mm-hmm.
live in a apartment, house, whatever. Have the job, have a like full time job, like in their careers, and that's not me. You know what I mean? Like I have a girlfriend now. Like I'm getting towards that stage, but it's like I'm gonna get there in my own time. I'm not gonna go into something like I could have been in my career from the get go in January. I could have been a scientist or anything with my degree. And I chose not to because that's not something I want to do. You know what I mean? That's always going to be there. And the experience that I've gained this last year or two coming out of college have been nothing but positive, And I wouldn't have had the same experience if I jumped into my career, a career that I didn't want. You know what I mean? Just to rush.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has their own time, you know. And like people, all that stuff on social media, you realize it's fake. I've seen relationships and marriages on social media where people think, oh, they're set during their career and all they do is fight. I mean, you see things like that. And people are going to show you the highlights. They'll never show you the worst things. And so it's all about doing what God has for you, following His plan, and realizing that everything was time. If I would have passed if I would have got a good ass score on the exam I just took last time, I wouldn't have had some of the things I've had in my life. I probably wouldn't have a girlfriend. I probably wouldn't have met the new friends that I have that are like, focused and driven. I would have missed out on a lot of things that God had for me. So I'm grateful I have it now.
Man, that's so real, man. And like something for me, like the last few months of I would say like the fourth quarter of 2022, man, like I really just focused on like finding my own pace and just staying at it, and being comfortable in it. Because I realized like in the past, like I was trying to uh go at everybody else's paces and not knowing mine, you know. So
Yeah,
I had to just stop, like this period. Like that's why like I wasn't like recording for a while because like I had to find my own pace and know what did I want, and what was the direction I really wanted to go in. Because beforehand, I was just going and had these expectations that wasn't set upon by me. Like I didn't have nothing that was like, oh, this is what Brandon want. This is a Brandon goal. No, this is because I saw this out there. I'm like, man, it has to go like that. And if it's not going like that, something is wrong. And I had to realize, man, like everything, like they always, like they say, like it's more than one way to skin a cat. So like now I'm just really going at my own pace and I'm comfortable with that. Whether that with relationships, friendships, just work, just life in general, man.
and that's why I like tell people this is your life. You know what I mean? People can't tell you how to live your life. You know what I mean? Like you gotta go in your pace and you gotta follow your heart and do the things that you want to do. I tell people this every day. I hear it every day. You can make money doing anything. You can be a, a janitor, TikTok, and make money nowadays. You know what I mean? It's like people fail to realize like even me, I fell victim of this. Okay, I want to be a doctor. That's how you make money. You can't make money doing this or this. Like there's options. In today's society, you can make money doing anything. Especially if you do it, it's like your gift, and you do it your full ability, and you're gonna make some money. Whether you're a manager, whether you get in social media and get a good outreach, you make money. And for me, I realized I'm a gamer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm a gamer,
yeah.
and I know, I worked hard for my degree. I'm not gonna lie. It was hard, you know, going to labs every day after practice, before practice, studying, learning about cancer biology, like that. All that was hard. But, now I'm starting to figure out what I want to do and the goals that I have, the money I want to make, the connections I want to make, the outreach I want to have. It all leads to air traffic. So I'm hoping I get off a letter pretty soon. Yeah, man, it's just you gotta follow what you want because everybody wants to be a doctor. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? You tell me about it, we gotta be a doctor. We don't have enough this, we don't have enough black doctors, we don't have enough black nurses. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
so it's not really about that. It's more like what you feel like you were put on this earth to do. And for me, it's to make an impact with my success. And that's what I realized. You don't have to be, before I found out travel thinking I have to be famous for me to make an impact in people's lives. And that's not the case. I see people doing it, have nonprofit organizations that are under the radar and, feeding the homeless and don't have to put it on any form of social media. They're just doing it because they care. That's kind of one thing I want to be like, once I get in my career and, make money, I want to be a person people look up to, especially in the Black community. And so mentoring is something I'm big in that I want to be a part of, coaching. I just want to touch as many lives as I can when I get there. Because I know I didn't get there myself.
Yeah.
I can't expect the God to place me there and not give it back. So that's kind of how I think about situations. And that's the best, that's for me, that's what I know God's plan is for, regardless of what anybody else.
Man, that's so beautiful how you want to make sure you're a blessing to others while you're also receiving your own blessings also.
Yeah, that's my, no matter what I do, I'm going to be a mentor. Or, try to start an organization. That type of stuff takes time. It takes networking, it takes connection, it takes status, some of it, but I'm there for it.
Bro, what are some more powerful lessons you've learned in 2022 that you're taking, not to just this year, but the rest of your life?
I would say probably number one is like we were just talking about following your path. There will be people the lucky people who make it faster than everybody else, or people who are married faster, people who are following the social norm of society, but that doesn't have to be me. And I realized that it hit me hard, coming out of football. My identity was football. You know what I mean? At school, when you come out of something like that for 5 years, you got to work to find your other. You got to work to find out who you are. That took time, that took effort, that took reading, that took praying, and then I finally realized who I am and who I want to be. So number one would probably be following one path. Number two would be I would say, have positive thinking. Think positively about situations, because thinking negatively will never do you justice. And to just be more aware of what comes in your head, being present in the situation or in the moment. And mainly just comes down to controlling how you think about situations that will really play a role in how you do everything else. So I would probably say positive thinking. Number three would probably be, I think number three, let me think. I was going to say visualization, but that kind of ties into positive thinking. But number three, what I will say, this is actually my number one. I'm saying it there. I should say this number one, is you have to have a relationship with God. No matter what, and it's like people saying, oh, whatever, you're just saying that because you went to private school. No, man, I'm telling you, I witnessed life without God and with God. And right now I'm with him. And I had situations. So I think, so right now I'm not really working. It's all school. It's kind of like school money and things like that. I was working before doing modeling and stuff like that, but I haven't really had any jobs come up recently. So I was probably December, I probably had $100 swimming. I'd done a couple modeling gigs before, so money was going to come in at some point, but with that, it doesn't come until it takes months. You know what I mean? It's not like a instant. Yeah. And man, I remember December not being able to know if I could, even fill up my tank. I got school, I got scrubs to buy, I got classes to pay for. I didn't know how I was going to fill up my tank. Man, I started January off when it came out of nowhere. Wow. And that's something that really nowhere. And that's coming from all of a sudden modeling money coming in right when I need it. You know what I mean? And my account starts to stack back up. But that's not because, I wished for it to happen. I felt positively about it. But more importantly, I prayed every single day. The month of December is probably the most I've prayed in the past 2 or 3 years. And that's not even just on that situation that was on my
Wow.
scores coming out. That's on my scores coming out. That's on life in general. It's worked out better than I can imagine. I'm telling you, you gotta have that. You know what I mean? Because people think it's all on them and you put too much pressure on yourself because it really isn't. You can think positive all you want. If you don't have God in your life, you will never go. You might get there, but you'll crumble and stuff. So obviously you got it. That's my New Year's resolution. I'm gonna bring God into wherever I go. Because it's so easy. And this time around, I've especially with all the goals I hit in college, you get to such a high where you forget who got you there and you forget as bad as it seems, you forget about God. And I hate to say it like that, but that's really what it is, man. When I got to my goals in college, I wasn't praying how I was before. I wasn't reading his word every day. I wasn't doing the things I needed to do. But I made it a goal this time to do that. So even though I'm at where I want to be at right now, I kept getting because he's the one that done it. So I really would say number one would be have a relationship with God and keep it. Even when he gets you where you want to be, because he will get you there. It takes a mustard seed of faith. Number two would be positive thinking. And I don't care about what I said through. But I don't know.
Follow your own path.
Follow your own path. Exactly. But if I can tie it all in a summary, I would say expect the best in every single situation. I know I said it doesn't work instantly, okay, I expect this to happen right now. But learning to think that way, you'll prime your brain to only see how that thought came to life. If that makes sense. And so it's more of a playing a trick on your subconscious mind to only see the best in situations and how thinking about it shows up. So when I think about a situation, I don't see how it didn't happen. I only see how the best things happen, if that makes sense. Okay, this good thing happened because I thought that would happen. And it takes a toll on your brain and you constantly think about that. I promise you that's all you'll see is the best type of situation. Even when things go wrong. And being more aware, man, I learned to do that after college when I was, leaving college. Last day seeing my friends, my roommates. And it was I let a lot of time go by thinking about worrying about tomorrow's troubles or the past when the present moment was all I needed. And, I kind of soaked up that present moment last time I see my boys, Samson, my best friends, JB and all that last time. I soaked in that last moment. And from there on, it kind of carried on because I know some things can be temporary. And staying in the moment, it will help you not to think about the future and help you not think about the past and not to worry, but just enjoy the moment as it is because it will be gone pretty soon. So I would say be aware and then take God with you wherever you go. Wherever you go. Pray about everything. It really does. It really does make a difference. It's a shame that it took me that long to realize, but pray about everything. So.
Sometimes it takes us a certain amount of time. It takes everybody a different amount of time to learn the same thing, And I just love how you being more intentional about making sure you have that relationship with God, man. That's just a lot of times you don't hear people say that, because sometimes people really get obsessed with their self. They feel like, oh, I did this. This is all me. But they forget about them long nights they had where they was crying and they was feeling like they was at the lowest of the low. They was in that valley, and now they feel like they're at that mountaintop. Oh yeah, I got me here. But no, man, it was God.
Never. And the thing is, I've never been that type of, even when my relationship was lacking, I've never been that type of person to think he was on me. I knew it was him because there was times where I didn't even know how I got to where I was going to go. When all the opposition went wrong and things didn't look like they were right. It's even every now and then I got a journal that I had in college. I got a new journal now because it's filled up. But the old journal, writing everything, praying about it, writing everything I was praying about, and everything came on it. And it's, you know, I got papers. It's like, it's actually insane to me. Like, even, I don't know, have you read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill? Or have you not read that one?
Can you say that again?
Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon. Yes, I read that. I read
Okay.
that the year before last.
Okay, so you know in the book how it tells you to write down, you know, your goals and read them every day. Basically, the principles of reading when you wake up. That's what I'm saying. The principle is to read it when you wake up and when you go to sleep. Because that's when your brain, your subconscious is the most active. That's why it tells you to do that those 2 times a night. And I did that. And I have to find, I'm going to send it to you when we get off this. But I have a picture of it.
Okay.
What I wrote down was, because it tells you what you want to do and what you're going to get back. You can't, it's like the principle is you can't get something for nothing. And so I wrote down during that time period, 2021, that I was going to be an all conference football player, check mark that. And then I was going to be air traffic controller. That's still in progress, probably going to check mark that too. And then what I was going to get back is I was going to tell others about God and tell them and show them, you know, you don't have to, I'm not perfect. I may try to sound like it, but everybody, you know, I am not perfect. And just, so my goal was to show them how God can use people like me, people who you see, you know, having fun, you know, sometimes not doing what they're supposed to be doing to impact others. You don't have to be a St. John, a Pope, you know what I mean? He'll use anybody and everybody, and that's more glory to him. And so that was what my give back was going to be, to tell others how I got there and to be a living example of he can take anybody and make them something. And so I worked out in 2021. And so it's crazy, the principles in that book. And you know, and he mentioned God in that book too. I won't lie, but it's just, it's crazy how that's coming into light. You know, writing something down a year or 2 ago. And the one before that, I had 2 that I wrote. And this is the craziest one. I have it. I also have that in my photos. But I wrote in that same thing. I read the book twice. Well, I read half of the book twice. I never get to finish it because the ending is so boring to me. And once it gets like that sex transmutation chapter and it talks about it's just old stuff to me, so I never finish it. But the beginning, like the half of the book, I read it twice. And the first time I wrote, I'll be all conference football player. And I wrote down my stats. The crazy thing is I said I have 700 yards and 7 touchdowns. And that year, I had 705 yards and 9 touchdowns.
Wow.
Crazy, isn't it? And I have a picture on my phone. Cause I remember I had seen that, I cried. I was going through my journal once I got the news, man. I have that picture on my phone with the paper with the exact date I wrote it, which was a year before. Or the year before, like the spring before that season. So, man, that's what I'm telling you. Like when you talk about applying, you can read any book you want to read, but try applying. Because that book was the first book that I applied the principles that I learned into it, and it did work. And that's not even with finishing the whole book. I'm not gonna lie. I did not finish the whole book, but yeah.
Bro, you remember that Steve Harvey video I sent you, like doing the football thing? I think it was probably like I think it was my senior and your junior year.
Yes, you know, I remember it like it was yesterday because that was the first. That's you who got me into Steve Harvey when he said to write everything down. Habakkuk 2:2, write it down in plain sight, and no one may tear you. Come, yes, I remember that.
Dog, I did that like coming out of 2021 for 2022, bro, and like I was like just like going down like my list, like my vision board and things like I've accomplished, bro. I almost started tearing up, bro. Like, wow.
Crazy, isn't it?
Wow.
These are principles, and it's crazy because principles taught in the Bible. I'm not gonna lie, man. I never got to thank you for that because when you sent me that video, that's kind of when my life started to turn around. You know, and don't get me wrong, I was always been a Christian. Like, seeing that video, I got into Steve Harvey, I got into positive thinking, I got more into God. And that video right there, I mean, I went and applied everything I learned in that video to writing things down. It's crazy. And he's like kind of how Norman Vincent Peale did in his book. he tied God into. He was bringing out verses. Back in 2:2, he was bringing out the Book of Mark. He was bringing out everything, and it all applies. It all works. And the crazy his was insane. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Because all those cars he has, all those miracles that happen again. I don't know if you remember the video, but he had his wife at the time with all black cat, some type of Cadillac that was not in stores anymore. And then the dude told him it was in the store. He prayed about it. Next thing you know, they had one open, took it, and that was on his list, his vision board. So it's, man, I'm telling you, it's like a vision. People don't realize it's not just writing it down; it's putting in the work, it's visualizing it, and it's praying. Put those two together, you won't get it, man. But yeah, I do remember the day like it's yesterday. Everything.
Bro, I'm happy that video has had such a positive impact on your life, bro. Because I sent that to everybody on the football team that had this Snapchat. I sent it to everybody, bro. I don't know if other people actually did watch or like how that video affected them, bro. But to hear you say that, man, I'm just happy, man.
Yeah, it's crazy because it was like it's at the time when I needed it the most too.
Yeah.
And so I watched it. I probably seen that video about 5 to 10 times.
Wow.
For real.
Man, it's just so crazy, bro. Because like I'm going back to like my mindset at the time, bro. Like me and you, like we wasn't like best friends or anything, but like, we was cool because we teammates and stuff, you know. And
exactly.
You know, we like cordial and everything. But like I watched that video, bro. I was like, man, like I gotta send this to like, cause I what I felt watching that, bro. I was like, man, like more people need to hear about this, man. I just went down like my like a little Snapchat like contact list or whatever. And I just sent it to everybody. Especially I sent to all the teammates, and also sent like all the other people that wasn't on the team that I just knew. I sent that video to them also, bro. And it's like, man, like hearing that, like, bro, like, man, that video was just so powerful, bro.
I'm telling you, man, I'm not even lying. I'm not blowing no smoke. The day I seen that video was the day where I became inspired with things like I wasn't a reader back then. With reading motivational videos, the Bible, that video was the thing that changed me, because the reason why I say that is because after that video, I became obsessed with Steve Harvey's like videos too. So I've seen all those videos. That's how I found this book. Where do you think I found this book?
Yeah.
If you watch Steve Harvey's video of the 3 books he recommends, there's The Power of Positive Thinking, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and whatever that book I have, The Magic of Thinking Big is what I'm reading right now. That would be the last one I read. And so I'm telling you, like I actually watched the videos and actually inspired me.
Man, bro, it's just so powerful. Like just having this conversation with you, man, because it's taking me back, bro. But it also is making me so happy for what's to come in the future for the both of us, man. Because I know the type of person you are, bro. Like you're so positive. Like you're just so intentional about working on yourself. Man. Now, not a lot of people are like that, but they want the flashy things and this and that. You know, they want the surface level version of success and what that looks like and what it symbolizes in a sense. They don't really want success. They just want what success symbolizes.
Nah, man. It's like I want to be the type of success I can put, you know, especially with I can try to put my brothers on, you know, people like you, my friends, like put everybody on. Like it's not just one thing about me is I will never be the type to gatekeep anything, whether that's money, resources, knowledge, books. I will never gatekeep. My Samson, you know, I told Samson in there right now, air traffic control.
Wow,
he is right now, and he'll be the first one to tell you. When I found out about how they were letting other people take the exam now, because my dad's one, I told my whole house. I didn't care. I didn't care if he got it and I didn't, and somebody else. I didn't care. I'm not the type of gatekeeper. I want the best for all my people. So that's really what it is, man. That's why I like doing things like this, like podcasts. You know, hopefully one day, especially when I get in my career, I'll have my own podcast, my own like mentorship program, and you know things like that. So we put other people on, man. It's no fun if you don't want to. Or you know what I mean? You want to put all your brothers on. If you're the only one at the top, you're not helping anybody else out. Something. You know what I mean? It's all about the process
Mhm.
of getting to the top and trying to bring others up there with you. So that's how I view it. It will not be a success if I get to where my goals and my friends don't. So
Bro, what you're saying right now is remind me like a intro to one of Drake's songs when he was like, it was a When to Say When. In the intro, he was like, I got all these blessings just to give them someone else anyway. And I was like, man, that's just like such a generous way of thinking, like knowing like, all right, yes, I'm getting these blessings, but also I gotta bless other people with these blessings also. And it doesn't just stop at me.
exactly, man. Because it's not like it's me. You know what I mean? As much as I want to say that it's me doing these things, it's not, man. It's God's work in my life. So I'll be stupid not to pass that way else I love. So that's what it is, man. Never. That's one thing about me. I'll never gatekeep ever. Open book. And so it's just like I said, it's gonna put other people on, man. It's not just about you. It really isn't. So, yeah.
But man, that's so real, bro. Now I like to turn this conversation over to you, man. And just let you ask me any questions that you want to ask, man.
All right, man. So what are your goals? What do you want to do?
Mm. I know I want to be more intentional and about saying no, being more comfortable with saying no. And that's just not necessarily being just like a people pleaser in a sense. And with that, it's just like all not necessarily just all about me, but more about like, all right, I'm diving into myself and knowing what I want. Like how you saying, like following your own path, and knowing what your path is and being comfortable at your pace. I also want to since like I just want to try new things. I want to get outside my comfort zone because I feel only outside comfort zone is when I can truly grow. And it's like I want to just expand on different skills I have or even don't have. In November, I learned how to swim. Like I started taking swimming lessons, man. But
Mhm.
it's like also within doing that, taking those swimming lessons, I've learned life lessons in the process that I can use in other aspects of my life, man. Like I never even thought that taking a swimming lesson would teach me something about following my own pace. And that's
Yeah.
where I learned that from. And I was like, how I never thought I would have learned that from swimming. But with
Mhm.
learning that, it's like, wow, like, all right, now I'm looking forward to learning a new skill, learning something else I don't know how to do, and how that can teach me a life lesson that I need, I need to learn. So those are my main goals, man. Just that, because I feel like with doing those things, I can also grow like in other aspects, like of course, like you want to earn more money and this and that, but I feel like symbols of success would come with me just really just working on those key things.
Yeah, it's key, man. It's key. I agree with that. It's like it's crazy how someone like some of the lessons, some of the physical lessons can also teach you life lessons. Like you said, swimming and things like that. It's more of finding your path and other than to society's expectations, but living to your own and God, what God has for you. Do you expect those lead you to like a career choice? Do you have a career choice goal? Like in terms of goals yet, or how's that? How do you think about that? Or would you rather do what you're doing now and let work on yourself to build income and things like that?
Well, I'm not only just doing the podcast, because I'm
Yeah.
a social worker at a clinic, so like I'm enjoying doing that, and like doing that has been so much fun, and it's been so fulfilling also. In a sense, like knowing like I'm doing something that's helping the patient and like giving them the resources that they need, and with doing that, it just makes me more grateful for what I do have, like every day, like when I'm driving, like on my ride in, like I live like 40 minutes away from my job. Like, it's like a 40-minute drive. So I spend like the first 30 just praying, bro, just praying and just thinking, bro. And then like while I'm praying, bro, I'm just telling God how grateful I am. Cause it's like, bro, like like for me, there was so much things and so many things and so many people in the past that I took them for granted, but now I'm making sure that I'm just telling God, like, man, I'm thankful, even if I don't say it. I just want to let you know that I'm thankful for all these people and these things that I've taken for granted, because I want, like, God knows our heart and stuff, but also it's also like, for putting it out there, and just being like really sincere about it and not just like, oh, like some people say, yeah, God knows my heart, and they just do some crazy stuff. And they say, oh, it's okay because God knows my heart. It's like, nah, okay, cool. Yes, God knows your heart, but man, you can also be a better person. Also, you don't have to do those certain things anymore just because God knows your heart. You know.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, because gratitude took you a long way, especially if you're telling God, I'm grateful you are. He won't bring you. That's how it works, man. It's like that's the key thing to achieving more abundance in anything, health, relationships, success. It's gratitude. If you're
Yeah.
not grateful for what you have now, you think God's going to give you more? It don't work that way, man. Because look, one thing He will do is He'll take it away. And you, like just like you said, like you miss out on the opportunity to be grateful for some people that left your life, man. That makes you grateful. So like, just like one of my goals is just like yours is I want to be grateful so God doesn't make me. You know what I mean? Because He will fast. So it's like, it's like finding the divine line between wanting more and being grateful for what you have, man. That's the key. You don't want too much and not be grateful.
That's true, man, bro. I got that from a Steve Harvey video, also, man.
Man, see, Harvey, man. See, that's kind of like what I was talking about, man. Like he got to where he knew where he wanted to go. God helped him get there, and He gave back, and that's what He's doing right now. So He's changing more lives than we can imagine.
Yeah.
So,
Bro, just think about how like we've learned these life lessons from Steve Harvey without even knowing him personally, you know?
man, that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to have an impact like that one day. You don't have to be famous to do that.
Mm.
It's just, it's just being known. Like, even if it's just around your block, you can impact a lot of people. There's a lot of people watching that you don't even know. You got fans that you don't even know rooting for you. And so, man, you can impact lives probably one of the greatest successes you can have in this world. Because, there's a lot of, especially kids are people, man, are skin color. Kids especially, they're being taught the wrong way, going on the wrong path. You see 15 and 16-year-olds getting life in prison. And it's not their fault, man. That's what they're taught. And so, I think we need more people like us to be able to not only have the social status and success for people to look up to us, but just the ability to be able to speak and play a role in other people's lives, so they don't go down the path like that. So,
Bro, it's Nipsey Hussle, bro. He had like a clip in an interview and he was talking about that, bro. And I just posted that on my Instagram story the other day, bro. And it's like I can just show us how like everything comes full circle. Hey, bro, like God is just so cold in the sense. Like to me, like God just makes everything full circle, bro. And what you just saying that, and it's just like, wow, we wasn't even. And I can see now. I gotta find this clip.
You measure your success by how many people you bless. I never heard that before. And then he also said another combo was like, I don't want $1 more than what's mine, or $1 less. And that's how I deal with all my artists. That's what he's saying. I don't want a penny more than what's mine. I mean, $1,000,001, and my cut is $1 million. I'm gonna leave $1 on the table. I ain't taking 999,000 either.
Like, man, like, you heard that, bro?
I've seen a lot of Nipsey Hussle videos, but I have not seen that one.
Yeah,
that's crazy. But yeah, man, I'm telling you.
And it's just like little things like that.
Yeah, man. Just imagine, like you said, man. How many lives you touch, you don't want anything that's not yours. That's how I want to live life, man. I don't want to take from anybody else's pocket. I don't want to have to. I want to take what's mine through my salary and all, but when it comes to mentoring and all that, nobody pays time. I'm not gonna be one of those people like, okay, like you see people they have like TikToks and like a big outreach. Like, okay, you gotta learn from me, pay this. Man,
Yeah.
I don't know what that way, man. Just not getting that. I could put it in your pocket. I don't know what's mine.
Like man, it's so crazy because they be like, oh, I'm a millionaire or billionaire in this field because I do this and that. So I'm gonna teach you, but you got paid to learn this. And then you come to realize they're making all their money off this school that they have. It's not necessarily because they're in this certain field. They're not really making no money off that. It's more about them telling you, oh, I got this class. You can pay $200, or I'm gonna give you a $200 special because it normally costs $2,000. It's like, wait, what?
Like, I'm telling you, man, it's not. That's not for me. Man. I'll never ever fall for those scams ever, because that's not when there's all this free knowledge in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, it's all about fighting. I would say I don't have a physical mentor yet, but like we all have role models, like Steve, like you said, Steve Harvey, especially like AJ Brown, DK Metcalf, people who really perform in their field, and then know that it's God giving them that they're giving God the credit because it's Him who's the ability to do it. So those are my role models, people I look up to, the people I follow. I don't really follow anything like other than that. Like I don't take anybody else seriously if they're doing the things that you just said. Okay, I can teach you to get here and pay me money. These people give it out. Not those people like the names I just said, they're not free now.
Yeah, that's true. Bro, that's so real, bro. That's like last year, bro. I'm telling you, man. Like last year was such a powerful year for me, man. Like the first 2 months, like January and February, bro. Like every night, I was spending like an hour or so watching a Nipsey Hussle interview just to get my mental right, bro. Just be mentally prepared and locked in on the things I want to accomplish, bro. And I even like created like a playlist on Tidal. Like I called it Positive. And I had like different Nipsey Hussle and a few Jay-Z songs, and I think like a couple Drake songs on there. Where like it was just more about me getting mentally prepared for the things that I want to accomplish, like knowing like being comfortable with it, like grooming myself into having like the mindset and being comfortable with the person I'm gonna become, and knowing like, hey, everything is gonna be all right, and like it's right here, and I'll listen to this playlist every morning. I'll listen to a Nipsey interview every night for those first couple of months, bro, and like my life, bro. Like also, like, I wrote down like my vision board and stuff, and I'm just so intentional, bro, and like everything that I want to happen, it happened times 10, bro.
Every time, and when you say that, bro, you're gonna bring me back to a Steve Harvey video. Like you said, everything happens 10 times. I don't know if you remember, he had a video where he was talking about he wanted to have, I can't remember the number, let's say 10,000 acres. I don't know, I might have sent this to you, to be honest. He wanted 10,000 acres, right? That was something on his vision board. And you say how everything doesn't always happen on your vision board, it'll happen even more. You know what I'm saying? God bless you even more for having faith. He said he wanted one of his goals. He got his goals. He had a little bit of money. He wasn't homeless anymore. Started making some money. And he was able to purchase 10,000 acres of land. But they were asking for an insane price, something like that. He could afford it, but it would put a dent. And whatever, he kept asking, and he started praying. Like, Lord, just help me to achieve this goal that I had. Something like that. It's not word for word, but anyways, he ended up he went whatever, got a random call about somebody, a farmer, found out he was looking for land. He got 100,000, something like 100,000 acres of land for the same price that they were selling for 10. I've been saying that video, but that's it. And you say he was 10 times harder than he was every time.
Oh man, that's so real, man. And I'm enjoying the questions that you're asking me, man. That any more that you have in mind?
I would say, what is your routine? Like, where do you fit in? Like waking up, working out, reading, things like that.
Okay. When I wake up, I listen to use like a podcast, or like I find a podcast, or I should like a clip here and there, like something I'll send you. I usually listen like that in the morning, just to like just kind of like set my intentions. Cause I remember Jay Shetty, he has a podcast, and he's like a mindful podcast, and he talks about like just being more intentional. So like I always want to make sure I'm setting my intentions in some way or form. So when I wake up, I'm listening to like a podcast, or I'm listening to a playlist of some songs that I probably already had on my mind, just to get me going, and I like get ready. And then while I'm in the car on my way to work, I just pray. I just pray, bro. I just let it all out. Like I feel like I'm just talking to God out loud, man. And I just let out all my thoughts, and I just tell him I'm grateful. And yeah, like I ask for things, but I make sure like I gotta say what I'm grateful for, bro. And after that, like I get to work. Then once I get to work, I say hello to everybody, and then like I usually like go on Instagram or I usually go on Instagram or Snapchat, and like I post like a story or something, like a clip or something, like or even like a picture or something that really just got my mind activated, got me going. I feel like, man, I feel like other people should read this, and I'll just post it. And after that, I go about my day. I could probably like talk to a few people throughout the day, like one like texting or whatever. But then also at work, I'm just locked in with the patients, like whatever they may need, and like just making sure like bro, I make sure I do something that's challenging, man. Like I challenge myself, bro, because I realized that some months I realized like the last few months of like the fourth quarter of 2022, man. Like like you have to start your day with a challenge. So you gotta challenge yourself in some way, somehow. You have to just accept whatever challenge it is and just face it head on. And whatever happens from the outcome, it happens. But it's also like serves as a learning lesson. It just it gives me like more self confidence in myself in a sense. And it's like, bro, it makes me like I become proud of myself, and not just me just being arrogant trying to cover up some type of insecurity that I have. Like it's like, I actually tried. I know I did my best, whatever this challenge was, and I know I overcame it. Or even if I felt like I wasn't able to accomplish, but knowing that I tried and gave my best, and whatever outcome is, it is. So I'm not necessarily caught up in outcome. I'm just like just make sure I'm doing it, facing the challenge, and then after that, I make sure like I just speak with like people on the staff just to have that connection, And I want people to know I'm gonna give them some type of positive energy, you know. And then after that, like once I get off, I go to the gym, man. I go to the gym and I do like well, like you use a hooper. It's like a box shooting drill, like around a free throw, and I just do like 10 shots from everywhere. But then like while I'm doing that, I'm listening to music, but then I'm just working on my form. But also with me working on my form, I'm more of just being more present, and just locking into the now. Then also like I get like thoughts. I feel like it's kind of like a sense of like meditation for me, as I'm like explaining right now. Like with those thoughts, I'm just letting them come and letting them go. But I'm just making sure, man. All right, I got my 10. I just go around. That I might play a game, most likely not. And then I actually go on a bicycle for about 15, 20 minutes and just ride and just make sure I'm just there in the ride, not necessarily caught up in other things. I'm just there, just in the moment. And after that, get a lift in. And after the lift, I I'll go downstairs, probably go to either the sauna. If I don't go to the sauna, I'll just take a shower and go, come back home. But like within that, like that ride, I'll probably call like one of my friends and like just talk to them, like see how they're doing. It's just trying to catch up with people, because I know like, man, like we're getting older, but it's even more important for people to know like, hey, I'm actively trying to connect with you. And I know you're going through whatever you're going through, but man, let's just talk about life in general. We can just talk about anything, and it doesn't have to necessarily be anything serious. It can just be a whole bunch of jokes that we have. But knowing like my friends know like I'm there for them still, in a sense. Then after that, once I come home, I eat. And then after I eat, uh, I'll probably like watch like an hour of TV or something like that, maybe 40 minutes. And then like I spend like my last 30 minutes while I'm up. I'm just writing, bro. I'm just writing. Oh, if I'm not writing, I'll be like reading because like, I like to listen to like real like instrumental like pianos play like as I'm reading because I feel like it's like really relaxing and just like slows down my heartbeat and just gets me ready to go to bed. And I feel like my mind, like I used to like get most active at the night and in the morning. I feel like my mind, I have like, all my ideas and stuff. I'm just writing or reading.
Man, that's a good schedule, man. You got it down to a T. But yeah, man, I like how you said that you make sure you like wind down before bed. It doesn't sound like you have a lot of like wasted time. If that makes sense. It's like you got a strict schedule, which is good, man. That's how I was when I was working as a med tech. Man, I was strict. There was not a my girlfriend used to be so mad because there was not an hour during the week. You could not. There was not an hour I had free. It was just
Mm-hmm.
workout, read, work, like you know what I mean. And so now it's kind of like I'm getting to like a more free schedule that's just really mainly consists of working out and homework and you know
Mm-hmm.
things I got to get done for the day. But yeah, I agree. That's a good schedule. But I'm you said something about like being more confident, like not for other people, but it's like I like how you said like especially when you get more confident. For me, being confident is saying what you're gonna do and doing it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? It's like
yeah,
something about I'm gonna say I'm going to the gym tomorrow. I'm gonna be at the gym, and then that for me, that's how now it turned into a habit. Because I didn't like to work out. In football, I used to walk around. I didn't have to work out. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But now
yeah.
it's just ever since last January, that people know me for lifting. And my friends know me. Oh, he's a gym rat. He's gonna lift because at a certain point it becomes a part of you. And you know that's the main key. Saying what you're gonna do and then doing it. But
Yeah,
yeah, I want to get.
bro.
I was really good at reading, but I'm not gonna lie, I fell off a little bit. I fell off
Yeah,
a little bit for reading, but that's something I want to. But just in this month, December,
yeah.
like before, for this new year, I didn't start off with a window reading, but that's something I gotta get back into. Because man, I was just saying I want to read for 30, 20 minutes. I want to read for an hour.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Bro, that's so true. And how you saying like bro, what is that you, bro? I didn't even like I didn't like the lift, bro. Like I wasn't the guy, like especially like my freshman year, my first camp, like bro, like why are we lifting, bro? Like this isn't necessary. Like and I'm like, man, we got some weight room heroes, like he always got those in general. So it's like, man, like, does this really pay us off? But like now, like, I actually enjoy going to the gym. It's kind of like my recess, like an adult recess for me.
exactly, exactly. That's how it is for me too. And it's just, man, I'm telling you, I'm in there. I mean, it really has become a part of me now. It's more of like, for me, it's more than giving me something else to work towards to bottle up the process. My goal was to be 210. It
Mm,
was last January. And
okay.
I found so in love with the process of working out and, doing the thing that I've had to do that I didn't even realize I was 210 until I took on the
Wow.
scale the other day. And
Wow.
it's definitely become a big part of my life. It's something it's like you said, like I love recess. Like I look forward to going. I look forward to taking the pre-workout. It's just
Hmm.
instead of competing with other people, it's kind of like competing with myself to, get
Yeah.
to reach a certain goals.
And it's
That's what
like,
it's.
man, like you just fall in love with the process, bro. Like at first, like I used to set goals based off like what's the end result I want, but it's like it's not all about the end result. It's really about the journey, because like in that journey, that molds you and shape you into whatever you want. And it's like it low key shapes you to not just what you want, like a better version of that. Because if you just want like say you be like, oh, I want $1 million, right? You get the million, but then like say somebody just randomly give you $1 million. All right, cool, but like you don't appreciate it, and you're like there's no lessons you learned in that whole process, so you can't even really appreciate the million that you got, and you end up losing it just as quick as you got it. You know?
You won't know how to use it. You know what I mean? It's you have to, like I said earlier in the podcast, you have to become the person who is. You don't want to get a million, you want to become a millionaire. That makes sense. I didn't want to bench a certain amount of weight. I wanted to become a weightlifter, like a power lifter. You know what I mean? It's more, I don't want to pass air traffic control and become air traffic controller. It's everything. That's how you got to think about things, because when you think about the qualities and the things that that person will have and start doing them, that's you'll get that result. You know what I mean?
Yes, man.
It's like the law of return, man. It's all about becoming what you want to be. It's not about chasing. Like I said, if you chase something, it will run. And this time around, man, last year I was on my own. I wasn't chasing nothing. I wasn't chasing no goal, no female, and everything came to my life perfectly. Just for me becoming the person who I wanted to be. And that's something I learned. I was chasing a good test score. I was chasing, the things, goals in the weight room. And like, it's just, when you become that person, it will come. No need to chase. It's all about developing those qualities and not chasing, but trying to become that person every single day and thinking about what they would do, how they would react to things, what they would do if they had the money. It's just becoming that person. So that's something. That's another lesson I forgot to say yes. It's definitely never chase. It's just all of the process to become that person. You'll be amazed. Really will. And really be amazed by what God can show you in your life. So.
Man, bro, that is so like, bro, like the few women that the women I've had in my life post college, man. I didn't even have to really chase them. It was just more about the person I was becoming, and like we just happened to meet and we just connected, But it was like if I was really chasing like this and that, like they wouldn't have been there and we would never met, But it was like more about me just working on the person that I want to become, the man I want to be, that got us to connect. And it's like, man. So hearing you say that, man, it just really struck me, man.
It resonates with me, man. I'm telling you, it's just I would never know any of this information if it wasn't for Steve Harvey, books, God, experiences. It's just all stuff that I've learned. So like I'm just, like making stuff up. It's crazy because every book I've read, it has the same principles said in a different way. And that's coming from the Bible, the power of positive thinking, thinking more rich, magic, everything that I've read has the same lesson in a different way. Saying mainly it's the main lessons to have faith, think positive, it's expect the best. It's all of that in every single book. So those are 3 lessons I've learned in every single book. So I apply in my life. And I have not, it hasn't failed me yet, honest to God. Ever since I started, really having faith, really praying, really applying those principles in the Bible and in the books to my life, really not chasing the goal, but like chasing and having fun in the process, enjoying the process, really being aware, really being present, everything. It's like it seems like a lot to remember, but it really isn't. It's as long as you become the person, like whatever goal you have, you don't chase the goal, become that person, then all that stuff comes with you. Because you're so, like I said, it's all like, think about it's all like neuroscience. Like your subconscious brain, your conscious brain, your reticular activating system, all of it. So when you want to become that person, your brain with God will show you everything you need to become that person. It's not like you have to think, what do I gotta do? It's like becoming that person, be intentional, like you said, be intentional about having, relationships and putting yourself in situations and environments to become the person you want to be, and then you'll see everything you will do. So.
Man, that's so, man, you hit it right on the head, man. Is there any other questions that you have for me, man?
Let me think. I had one. I just lost it. But I will say one goal that I forgot to tell you.
Okay.
One goal that I forgot to tell you is I don't take anything personal anymore. Because I can't remember if it was a video or a book. Can't remember. I'm not gonna lie. But I realized Like even like when people like, going to the grocery store, somebody flicking you off in the car, going to the grocery store, you're not doing anything, something right, you're getting yelled at. Or even witnessing it happening. It never has anything to do with you. Ever. It's more of you're the scapegoat. It's something that's happening in their lives right now. And you just happen to be there, present in the moment. So you're the outlet, getting all the anger, the frustration. It has nothing to do with you at all. And so even like I'm telling you, man, I don't take anything personal because very rarely will somebody actually set out an intention to hurt you if it's not something that's within themselves happening in their life currently. You know what I mean? So I don't take anything personal ever.
Bro, that is so real. Bro, hearing you say that made me think about me, bro, in the sense that used to be a major problem that I had. I took a lot of things personal, bro. But then I had to realize it wasn't about me. I feel like I've came to realize when you take things personal, that's selfish of you. Because it's not all about you. Like
And
you just said.
And you're doing yourself dishonor. You're instead of letting them carry their own weight and you going about your life, you're carrying that weight too. You let them project their weight onto you. You know what I mean? So I ain't got nothing to do. I've been, not a lot, but I've had been cursed out sometimes, flipped off, but whatever. It's just like, I don't really care if that makes sense. Because it's not anything that you need. It's something that's happening in their life and you just have to do that. So, that's and it makes life more enjoyable. It's like you don't really care what people think. It's just, this is your, like, you really think about it, this is your life. You can't let anybody affect the 24 you got during the day. And so, that's how
and it's like, when you don't take things personal, man, you don't have to really care about any dead weight to hold you back, You can just move in and out life the way you want to, the way God wants you to. You don't have to worry about it. Man, why I feel so sluggish? Why does everything feel so heavy on my heart? It's because you're taking everything personal. You feel like everybody's against you. You feel like it's all about you, but it's really not, man.
It never is. I'm telling you, that's something that I try to tell the people, that I love, and especially like whenever they about to get mad. Like one thing about me, you will never get me out my character. You won't, because especially like it ties into becoming the person you want to become. If something happens, say I go to a bar one night and somebody, makes me mad, tries to fight me. To me, it's not worth it. It will take me, for me to have to fight, it would have to be that you put your hand on somebody you love or something like that. But it's hard, very hard. Words are not going to get me out of my kid because I know I got a future. People don't realize that, like, if you want to become the person you want to be, you gotta think how that person would think. So if you're that person in the career you want to be, would that person fight? And what will be the consequences? Lose your job, you lose your whole career. Don't be able to provide for your family. So that's how I think. That's why you never see me in fight with me. I don't, I'm thinking about how I'll be in the future. And I don't want to prime my brain to react a certain type of way because when I get there, I'll react the same way. So,
bro, that's so true. When you like something I've started to do, I would say around late August, man. Like after my birthday, I was like realizing that I have to, if I want to be this individual I say I want to become, like I have to start acting like that person, like you just said. And I was like, man, if you want to get money, you gotta act like money. You gotta be money. You gotta dress like money. And it's just a certain way you just have to carry yourself.
And it's funny because, every time you say something, I think of Steve Harvey. Another video he said, especially like you said, you got to dress like he said. If you want to know how it feels to be rich or to achieve a goal you have, do something with that goal. He said he bought a first class ticket before he could even afford it. You know what I'm talking about. He bought a first class ticket before he can afford it. He said, buy a Louis bag, buy a first class ticket, buy something that so you know how it feels. Buy something that never goes on sale. Only the wealthy can get. Because when you know how it feels, you can capture that feeling, and you can use that to achieve the goal you want to achieve. You can use that to drive you. And so, I actually did take that. Man, I got a Gucci though. I got a lot of material things. It's partly because I like it, but also because that's a lesson I actually took in the brand. So now for me, it's just people always ask me. It's like nothing to like brag on myself, but they always I have a drive. Like I will not. There's no complacency within me. Like I know the type of money I want to make, and I won't stop until I get there. I don't care how many career paths I have to go through. It's all about finding the one that works for me and God, and the one that can bring me the amount of money I want, and I will not. I'm telling you, you will never, ever see me complacent. Like, that's just not me. So that's kind of the things that's helped drive me, having things, like having the lifestyle that I have, due to like my parents and the people I love. Like I know what it feels like. And so I'm not gonna settle for anything less than, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, man, especially it's one of the reasons, that's another reason why I want to get into air traffic control. What drove me to study, to do the things necessary, to stay out of trouble, to never do drugs, never do anything like that can affect that from happening. So it works, man. I'm telling you, it works. Buy you a Louis something, and you save up money, whatever you gotta do, buy something like that, first class ticket, whatever. And my advice would be to buy something that's not gonna not temporary like the first class. That I can get, my belt I can have until I want to get rid of it. But the feeling I had purchasing it and just unwrapping and seeing it, man, it was like no other. So I still carry that feeling around when I'm thinking about what I want to do in my life and where I want to be and how we get there. So it works.
Hey, man, you dropped some incredible gems during this conversation, man. And you've been talking that talk, and I've even taken notes on the various things that you said, man. So I can apply them in different ways in my life, man. And is there anything else you'd like to say to the people before we leave?
I would say just learn how to read and learn how to get more engaged in the things that better you and better your lifestyle. And you can learn so many things, and they'll all play a role until you become who you want to be. Because there's a lot of things I like to play video games, like to party sometimes, but you gotta it has to come out to a point where you decide that you want to learn to be better. You want to reach your goals, and it takes sacrifice. It takes I didn't like reading before, but like I said, the goal is not to read books, it's to become a reader. And it's chasing that process and falling into that process that allow you to do that. So I would say definitely never take anything for granted. Learn every day. Always keep God in your life even when you get there. Because he can take it away easily and just, become better you, follow your own path in your life. You don't have to live up to social expectations. It's all about what you have, because God, not everybody can see the life God has for you, only you can see it. So that's like my summary of it.
All right, man, bro. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day, man. I know that you have other things that you have to do and that you want to get done, man. But I'm so grateful for you sharing your time with me and the listeners, man. And I'm just thank you, bro.
I'm grateful for the opportunity, man. It's always a pleasure speaking. So I appreciate it.
No problem at all, man. That's it from the latest episode of All American State of Mind podcast. You guys can go check out more All American State of Mind content on our YouTube channel, All American State of Mind. You can go on our Instagram, All American State of Mind, our Twitter, All American State of Mind. You can go listen to us more podcast episodes, wherever you like to stream at, and just search All American State of Mind. And that's it.